What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Stock Holiday, right back at you again with the latest and the greatest in these cryptocurrency markets. Do me a quick favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down. Let's get it. Today, we're going to be talking about the market. We are in trouble. This market has brought out so many emotions. A lot of folks are up one day, they're down the next day. Down the next day, up the day after that. You talking about an emotional roller coaster. That is exactly what we have been experiencing this cycle. Not just this year, but this entire cycle. We've been thinking things was going to go left, it'll go right. When things supposed to go right, we thought it went left. We are in trouble. I'm reading the comments. I seen the one guy say, if things don't change and turn around in August, we are in trouble. I said, what? I'm like, what are you expecting? What are you looking for? When you say change, what do you mean? Change. Bitcoin is doing well. Ethereum is starting to pop and do well. What do you mean change? Then I see another person saying, if Ethereum does not hit $6,000 this cycle, we're in trouble. I'm reading these comments. I'm seeing there's a bunch of fear. People are just real nervous. People are scaring themselves, not letting things play out. You got to let the cycle play out. People are pumping so much fear in themselves that they're making the wrong move. When you get too emotional, you tend to do the wrong thing. What did we see today? We saw Fed Chairman, or yesterday, we saw Fed Chairman Powell made a decision on the interest rates. Say we're not going to cut it this month. We're going to hold things and leave it as is. What did the market do? Instantly dipped. I said, oh, Lord. I saw stock market dip, saw Ethereum dip, Bitcoin dip. I mean, every market just tucked its tail. But when I was looking back, that what has been happening each time Fed Chairman Powell make his decision. I went back and looked. I'm like, you know what? This happens every time. Every time he comes, he make a decision, and he says he's going to hold it. The market squeezed. The market dips. And then I was looking. I'm like, man, what happens after that? Typically, after that, immediately we see a spike up. We see the market recover. Why? Because the market loves certainty. Now we no longer have to wonder what Fed Chairman Powell is going to do. There's no more uncertainty. Now it is certain what has happened. No interest rates are going to be cut. We no longer have to have uncertainty and wondering what the FOMC results will be. And now we got that declared. We got the results. Now we can continue to move on. The market likes that part. Now the market can breathe and say, you know what? I don't have to panic no more. I don't have to be under pressure. Now I could continue to make new all-time highs again. We had that dip instant from the decision. After that, the market will continue to go up. Every dip is a buy when you're in a bull market. What have we been seeing all year in this bull market? Every dip has been a buy. We're at new all-time highs. Most of the people who've been buying Bitcoin are in profits. Probably 95% of people who have been buying Bitcoin are in profit right now. Every dip has been a buy this year. And when you really zoom out, every dip since 2023 has been a buy. We have been doing nothing but making a steady climb up. And I'm seeing so many folks still filled with so much fear, so much doubt, and questioning themselves, and questioning the cycle, questioning the 4-year cycle. How can you question a 4-year cycle when the cycle has yet to be broken? So make sure that you're not one of the folks who are scaring yourself, because that is a real thing. Sometimes you will scare yourself. You'll scare yourself out of so many gains that are out there in the market that we have even yet to experience. Make sure that you are staying disciplined. Staying disciplined is very important. Even though it seems a little rocky, when I saw the market dip after Jerome gave his decision, I said, oof. It don't feel good when you see those dips. It does not feel good when you see your portfolio dip. especially when you knowing what your portfolio was, and then you see it dip. You say, "Damn, I just lost $10,000. I just lost $2,000." But when we start to recover, things will be greater later. When you see those dips, instant buying opportunities. Every dip is a buy in a bull market. Why? Because we're going to be making higher highs. So that's why dollar cost averaging is so important. It has been so important since 2023, since 2022. We've been dollar cost averaging in, got so much into the market. Now we are just waiting for things to snowball, building up our basket, because what? We're waiting for this thing to start going parabolic. The more that you got in that basket, the more gains that you will make when the parabolic run happens, when altcoin season happens. Like Raul Paul say, when that banana curve really start to form and really start to explode up, you want to make sure that you have a heavy basket. The heavier the basket, the heavier the portfolio, the more get the gains, the more the return. Simple as that. That's why our dollar cost average, even if it's just $20, $50 here, $20 there. When these things multiply, it's going to add to the bag. The heavier the bag, the heavier the profits that will be there when it comes time for me to start taking profits. I was looking at a couple of stocks earlier today in the stock market. I saw these stocks were red. I'm like, damn, let me go ahead and dollar cost average in, because I know even the stock market, we are going to continue to see pumps. We're going to continue to see the market spikes. Next FOMC meeting, September. I think I was reading some earlier where Donald Trump came out and said, you know what? He said September will more than likely see cuts. He has been giving us the cheat codes all year. A few months ago when he said buy stocks, that was the cheat code. Today, or maybe, yeah, today, when I read an article where he was saying rates more than likely will be cut in September. I said, oh Lord, this dude is just saying a whole bunch, which is cool. You know, I'm listening, because all that stuff he's been saying, he's been speaking to the rich. He's been speaking to the wealthy. I want to be part of that club. I'm listening now. As he talked to them, I'm listening. I know what they're going to do. So what am I going to do? I want to play like the big boys play. If they go into the left, let me go ahead and go to the left as far as investment and as far as making money. And all the other extra stuff they do, they can have all that. But as far as growing wealth, oh yeah, I'm paying close attention to what these large institutions are doing and what these billionaires are doing. What the politicians are doing, what they're saying, and combining what is going on in the 4-year cycle and what part of the cycle that we're in is very important. 80 weeks after the Bitcoin halving, 500 days after the Bitcoin halving. These are some of the charts and trends that are out there. These are some of the things that we must pay attention to. Yesterday in the aftermarkets, Microsoft ran up 9-10%. Eclipsed $4 trillion market cap. Only the second company ever, next to NVIDIA, eclipsed $4 trillion market cap. Now you look at Microsoft, you're like, this company is already so large, why would I invest in it? How much am I going to gain? 1%, 2%? You got to understand market cycles. You got to understand where we are as far as the cycles. Everything's going to pump. Looking at Meta, Facebook, I remember when that thing was $150. Was it last year or maybe a year before that? Meta, $700, $800. These are some of the large plays, and a lot of people feel like these stocks are so large, why would I invest in it? Bitcoin is so large, why would I invest in it? You have to reframe your way of thinking. No longer can you continue to think as you did in the past. Once you know better, you have to really start thinking better. You got to start moving better. You got to start investing differently. Diversifying your portfolio is very important. You do not want to have all your eggs in one basket, which is why diversification is so important. Investments, you're doing the right thing by investing your money, not just holding it, not just saving it. Um, this market, this economy is will have a top. The stock market will have a top. It can only go up so long before it cool off, like it did in 2021. It went up to the top, all-time high, right along with Bitcoin, and then the same bear market, the same time that the stock market did, Bitcoin did. These things are very closely correlated, but Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is just so much volatile. We know when the Bitcoin bear market comes, crypto winter, nasty work. You talking about losing 90% of your portfolio. You may run up your portfolio to $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, and that thing could come down to $30,000. You talking about sick? You do not want to be that person. You do not want to run your portfolio up to $40,000 and then you wait around too long. You was being too greedy. Crypto winter coming. You sitting on $3,500. You say, damn, that $37,000, I could have did this, I could have did that. This cycle, we will be moving different. We're not going to get caught up in all of the hype that's going to be out there. We are going to trust the 4-year cycle as far as timing. We're not going to wait for a specific price target. And we also understand that just because Bitcoin may have hit the top, that still don't mean that that's the top of the market. Last cycle, 2021, we saw Bitcoin hit the top, but the top of the market was not at that top where Bitcoin topped off at. Altcoins will run heavy. Vegas 4 towards the end. Small cap altcoins will run heavy, as well as the high risk volatile stocks. The penny stocks, the small cap stocks will run heavy. That's why I'm just dollar cost averaging in the crypto, these small cap coins, stock market, these penny stocks, buying stock options, buying calls, expecting these things to really get to great levels in Q4. Seeing what's going to transpire during this Santa Claus rally of 2025. Last year, we had a suspect Santa Claus rally in 2024. 2025, we could really see an explosive Santa Claus rally. Definitely going to be exciting and interesting to see what Q4 brings to us, but we're not going to zoom past Q3 yet. August is right here, second month in Q3. This year, 2025, has went by very quick. We have seen so many ups, so many downs. We've seen so many different rulings as far as politics. The tariffs, was a big thing that taught us a lot. So we have gained a whole bunch of experience just this year in 2025, just the 6 or 7 months that we've already ran through in 2025. We were expecting altcoins to perform a lot better than they have so far. The first 7 months of 2025, I was expecting things to be super explosive by now. Hasn't quite happened. We had a couple of coins here and there, but as far as the whole market, we haven't quite seen it yet. What's happening right now? We're still in phase 2. Ethereum, 12% dominance, beautiful. 12% dominance for Ethereum, which was once 7% dominance just a few months ago. That right there shows you how fast cryptocurrency moves. Just when you think you got it figured out, it's going to switch up and change on you. You got to be ready. What about when we see an 18% Ethereum dominance? Oh, we can't see 18%. Remember when it was 7%, you said we wasn't going to see 12% dominance. Where are we at today? Paying attention to the market cycles is very important. Following the various trends is all we got. That's all we got to go on. What happened before should resemble and line up closely with what will be happening in the future. Your history will tell you kind of how your future will be running. Research. Paying attention to and listening to the market, not trying to be the smartest in the room, not trying to overthink the process, but just continuing to trust the process. So, y'all continue to do portfolio analysis, continue to take a look at the plays you got in your portfolio and see and make sure you got the right plays. Make sure that your portfolio is very well diverse. You don't want to be having to wait to 2028 saying, damn, I didn't make nothing in 2025. I didn't make no money during this cycle. Why? Because you wasn't diversified enough. You was only in 2, 3, or 4 plays. None of those plays did anything. Matter of fact, you probably lost money this cycle. Imagine that. If you was around the entire cycle and you lost, cold game. You do not want to be in that situation. So come on over there. Join us in the Patreon. We would love to see you over there. But like I say, I just continue to come to you guys every day just to continue to give you that good encouragement. Coming to you guys every day to give you that good motivation. And that's all I got for you on this one. It's your boy, Stock Holiday. And I'm out.